Coming live from the zoo. Got my girl Diamond here with me. What's the deal?
What's the deal? What up, though?
Shit, had to get you in here and talk some shit with me. Okay. Before we get into anything, I want to know, like, where you from?
I'm from Detroit, the West Side. Finkel, 41, baby.
Okay. Say 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, like, how did you grow up?
So I regular shit. Mom and dad in the household. Got siblings. They eventually moved out, did their own thing. Stayed on Finkel. Just going to school. Regular kid, getting good grades. At a certain point in time, my mom moved us out the hood, moved us to the Birds. Didn't want us going to DPS school, so I ended up going to a school, high school in the Birds. Got my education out there, graduated.
What school?
So I went to Warrendale, and then after, I had about, probably like middle school, middle school. She moved us to like Ann Arbor.
What middle school you went to?
I went half Warrendale,
Okay.
and then I ended up going out to Ypsi a little bit, and did some, maybe like a couple years. I'm talking like I'm in jail.
What about elementary? I had wanted to ask you about that anyway.
Warrendale.
Oh, you went to Warrendale Elementary and middle?
Yeah, Warrendale.
Okay.
And then I ended up going to West Middle School in Ypsi, and then graduated from high school, Skyline, and then I moved back to the city right after. My mom was really trying to keep me from the hood. She didn't want me to,
Okay.
I want you to be in Detroit. Like, you can't keep me.
That's understandable, though. Yeah.
But I ended up moving back, so it's like.
Do you got kids?
No, I ain't got no kids.
Okay.
Kid free.
When you got kids, that's definitely understandable, though.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you can keep going.
Yeah, so graduated from Skyline High School. After that, went to Washington Community, and then ended up moving back to the city with my daddy. My mama and my daddy had eventually separated, so he had stayed back towards the city, moved with him. And then I ended up going to school, where I go, Oakland Community. And then,
So not to cut you off, but you tried the school stuff, though.
yeah, I tried. I ended up going to school for audio engineer, so
Okay.
that was the last program or whatever that I went for. So I tried.
Yeah.
But I took my route. I ain't gonna lie. I knew it wasn't like, I ain't want to do no like regular doctor shit or no bullshit like that. I don't know.
Well, what happened? You ain't finished college?
So the last program I was in was the audio engineering program, and I only got like a couple credits left. I really want to go back because I feel like it's some stuff that I can go back and learn now.
Yeah.
Especially like technical terms and shit like that, just tweaking shit. But I ended up leaving the program because I just felt like the shit was too slow. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it was too slow. I just needed some hands-on work. The teacher was boring. I ain't fuck with it. I did have some piano classes there too. I could have utilized that more, but I just ended up leaving that shit, and I ended up meeting somebody, and they ended up teaching me engineering, and I learned how to make music by myself. But shit, that's what I ended up doing for real.
So that's what you end up doing, like when you got out of school, you went right to engineering?
Yeah. I had a job, of course. I ended up having a job. I was doing like call center work, then I think the pandemic was about to hit. COVID was getting talked about and all that shit. And actually, what started me off was it's kind of bad in a way, but I ended up just seeing other people find their passion and like finding their little business, you know, stuff that they love to do. And I'm like, damn, what do I want to do? What do I love to do?
Yeah.
So when I listen to music, and I always like noted this in my head, like every time I listen to music, I'm more so paid attention to the instrumental or the background, like sounds of the music. But I really couldn't put two and two together yet.
Yeah.
So I ended up linking with like a friend. My mom had a friend of hers son who did music, been a music producer for a minute, and I don't know what popped in my head. I just did some research about music producing, and him doing that kind of like, okay, turned the idea on for me. Went to his studio, and then I got inspired. Like the whole vibe, when he showed me the tracks he produced, it was like, I don't know, it made me feel some type of way for it. It turned the spark on in me. And then I ended up linking with another producer. His name's Spark, shout out to him. And he basically took me in for real. He didn't teach me how to make beats, but he was the first person who told me download GarageBand on my computer. He like, download that shit and just start playing with it, and that's what I did. And I started on GarageBand, ended up graduating to Logic, ended up going to FL Studio. So then another engineer, his name Brian B, he ended up teaching me how to engineer. So I would say 2018 is when, August of 2018 is really when I started posting beats and putting that shit together. Within like 3 weeks of me making beats, I had sold my first beat. Yeah. So, and I was proud of that little $30. Look, I was selling bitches for $30. So I was proud of my little 30. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then
how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, 27.
I'm 27, so I'm doing it for about 5 years.
Okay.
Is that right? 5 years? 6 years? 5 years. But yeah, and then shit has just been up from there. I've just been still sharpening my skills, still learning stuff. I feel like you can always learn things. It's never, you really never know everything when you produce the music. In the production world, it's always something new. Even with like the new wave of music, shit you gotta adapt to, like sounds and shit like that, sound selection. So yeah, I feel like I'm for sure still growing. You know, I ain't got no big hit yet, so it's gonna happen though.
Yeah. It definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely got some traction though. You got a few songs, a lot of songs that you done produced that I like for sure.
That's what's up. Yeah.
So like how would you say like you fell in love with music, like before you start engineering? Like what made you know like you wanted to be involved with music?
Like I said,
like do you have any childhood memories of like, you know, your pops or your mom Dukes listening to something like, yeah, this is something I want to do?
You know what? I would say no and yeah in a way, because the stuff that they had me listen to, the old school blues, the 90s jazz, like that came back full circle.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Like I used a lot of them sounds, like that smooth jazz sound. My mom used to listen to a lot of Erykah Badu, a lot of Jill Scott, a lot of jazz, old school jazz, Norman Brown, Michael Franks, just a lot of shit like that. And really I use it, and what I do now, I always go towards the old school sound, and whatever they put in me with that music, they had me listening to it, definitely manifested in me, and it's definitely still current with what I do today for sure. But as far as